Yes, thank you for calling us in today. We understand your questioning of uh, moving forward. How is this all going to unfold for humanity without triggering humanity into the lowest fear-based emotions? And we can see for sure that there are two distinct timelines that you are right now on the crossroads of. You could be seeing your future where there is a broadcast which is telling the truth and dispelling all that has no longer served humanity, or you could see it all playing out as it is right now, still with the truth being out of the public and still for the dark agendas to still look and appear like they are running things. And this could go on for some time. Joanne is heavily questioning, why does humanity need to see Biden be inaugurated uh, to help raise our vibration, knowing so many people know the truth, feel the truth, understand the truth, and for this to take place, desperation would fall upon you all. And how is that supposed to raise the vibrations for humanity? How, when you are seeing the worst of your nightmares come unfolding true? And so we say to you all who are worrying about that, does it still change what has happened in the past? The crimes against humanity have still happened and are still occurring to a different extent. While you all were awoken to the devastation and the very uncomfortable informations about the children in the tunnels, while those have been dealt with and managed, there is still other crimes against humanity, which is not as such the physical brutality. The systems have changed. So the crimes against humanity now is deceiving you, is manipulating you. So while you're all itching for the truth to come out about the children, trust that they have already been cared for, dealt with, and sorted out and protected. And this is no longer the situation that is taking place. So while there is still more people that are making different crimes against humanity, this is still being worked through. People are still making these crimes. And so this is just more stronger cases against them about what they have been doing to humanity. We understand that you are impatient. Humanity is incredibly impatient, and this is a part of your manipulation is to want things instantly without patience and without having to to understand and accept things are unfolding. From our position, humanity's time on earth has been one great unfolding after another great unfolding, and so this needs to be played out. We will not be taking your free will from you and pulling you out of this planet any sooner than needed. So while it is still looking quite dire, this needs to take place for people to be able to awaken who are still refusing to see what blatantly now is quite obviously in front of them. So this is once again still happening for the betterment of humanity. And while we understand you're very impatient, this needs to play out fully. Humanity is now trying to help save humanity. And while we are protecting you from a bigger threats that could be and potentially have been threatening some countries and some certain areas, because we know that the dark have some interesting forces and interesting tools to impact you. And so their only big tool that they have now left is the vaccine and the fear of the virus. We want to talk to you now about suppression and not being able to handle the other side's opinions of things. If people are hearing information that you don't like, does it trigger you? How do you process that information? Do you simply cut it out of your life, or do you raise above it, feel into what is triggering you, and see things from the bigger picture? Every time you're triggered, every time you have to read from someone or hear another opinion that is against yours, it's not a chance, an opportunity for you to rage against the system and rage against that person. You're supposed to have compassion and be able to listen to what they have to say and understand. When you match a conversation with a lower aggressive energy, you're just going to have an argument. So even if someone is saying something quite absurd to you, having an open conversation about where are your sources for this information? Is this your intuition, or is this just your gut, or is this something you've heard from a fifth party? Trying to see the bigger picture and question all. Don't be afraid to question things just because it may not be the narrative you're comfortable with hearing. And so when we see beings being censored and blocked, it is very interesting because you're ending the conversation. You're assuming you know right, and you're not open, you're not mature enough to hear the other side. When you're blocking things, you're really afraid of things. So when you unblock people and open your minds and hearts to what they're saying and their position, and you know strongly within yourself where your position is, but you also open to the truth, you don't possibly know anything in everything right now. So you have to be open to new things to grow. If you're shut down to anything, if you assume you know all of anything, there is going to be no growth there. You're going to get stagnant. So you must be open with your heart, with your ears, with your mind to hear and process all the information without having a knee-jerk reaction and shutting it off and dismissing it. This is a perfect opportunity for you to be able to send compassion and love and understanding to people who have strong differences to you. This is a huge gift for humanity to be able to overcome that. As children, growing up, you all needed to share, you all needed to take turns, you all needed to be patient, listening to each other and giving gratitude to each other and respect to each other. And we can see many families right now fighting over the virus, fighting over the politics, fighting over so much because the vibrations are very challenging. As the vibration of the planet is rising and having these peaks of waves, when you ride the waves, you have that natural euphoric high. But when the waves of energy are lowered, as it kind of keeps the pulses of energy keep coming onto the earth, we're not just slowly tuning the crank of the energy of the planet up. We're sort of tuning it up and then pausing and waiting for everyone to speed up to cope with that energy, and then we are going to tweak the dial of the energy further. So that's why it seems like there is this pause. As you accustomize yourself to the vibration of the planet, you get used to it, and then you sort of go in that lull dip because you're already accustomed to it. So you are having to be waiting for that pause, for that new energy to kind of come up even more. So it's just when you're noticing those dips, it just means that you're fine-tuning yourself faster than most people. So what we're trying to do is include most of humanity through this. We're waiting for most of humanity to be awoken. We're waiting for most of humanity to have the higher vibrations. So when you're feeling those roller coasters of high vibrations and low vibrations, it's because you are speeding through and quickly customizing yourself to it. So this is very exciting for you to be noticing these things. And those in anything now that is coming to light, that's kind of pushing you to deal with things that trigger you. These are gifts. We understand that not everyone likes socks for Christmas, but socks are useful, shall we say. So these gifts that you're giving are getting now from the universe for you to unclutter your backlog potentially of things that you need to be dealing with. You need to be tolerant and use your apply the information from these sessions and use your practical skills to be able to process calmly conversations with these people who are so opposite from you, and really try not let it be a personal attack. Don't allow them to trigger you personally, because you should love yourself so much now. You should know your inner truth so much now that even if someone is calling you out personally and attacking you, you know that's a reflection of what they're going through. They're not able to win their argument with intelligent conversation, so they're resorting back to playground tactics and trying to just win through disempowering you with with nonsense. So you are the bigger person, you are the bigger being for that. So you can overcome those now because you see it for what it is. You know the truth. You don't have to see the truth on mainstream media for you to feel into the truth. And so, the truth is out there. You need to be looking and feeling into it. And this is why we have said to go within. If you are good at meditating, you will already so profoundly know exactly what we're saying and have it confirmed for you. So do not let people trigger you. And, if you still are processing the waves of being triggered by other people, then remember our words. Remember that this is lessons for you to experience and to overcome the bigger picture here, and not take it personally and see that they're struggling with them coming to terms with what's happening, because they're not really that convinced of what they're saying. They realize that they are basing their information and knowledge from fifth-hand sources. So they know that they're just parrots. They're just mimicking what they're hearing. They're using the system of Chinese whispers to source their materials. So when you tap into yourself through your meditations, through your own intuition, the truth. And that's all you need to. Your source is source. And so you can confirm that that things are better. That things are well. That things do not need to go into fear. So you don't need to justify where you get your sources from. You need to make them justify where they get their sources from. And if it is from someone who is being paid through mainstream media, you have to question their agenda. Who pays them? What is their agenda? You can also agree to disagree with your friends, because remember, right now we're not trying to battle each other. We're trying to bring each other together. We're trying to connect humanity back to each other, to be united, to stand amongst each other and still see the bigger picture, still be concerned about the environment and the status of all the crimes against humanity that have occurred, and not just the nefarious ones, but also just the poisons in your food, poisons in your medical systems, poisons in so much. There is always going to be so much publicly out there that at least you can agree on that something is not right in this world. But then, of course, that is judgment, because there is no right or wrong. So you're having to really be in that bigger neutral position where you are not afraid to look at everything that has been happening, and you're not afraid to be aware of the other beings that are on this planet right now. You're not afraid to have any situation unfold in the future, because you have that greater belief and feeling that everything that is happening is the betterment for humanity. We cannot say that enough. And so you are responsible to make your lives full of joy. You are responsible for making your lives feel like you have control. You are in complete control of what you allow into your lives, what you're allowed into your bodies, and what you're allowing into your minds. So you are not victims here. You are very much in control of all. And so choose the people that raise your vibration, hold space for the people that lower your vibration, trusting that when you open your heart and minds to them, and support them while they're going through their dark night of the soul, you will make the world a better place. And this is how you raise your vibration, is reminding yourself that you are very powerful and you are completely in control of your lives, even if it may seem you are not. And so there is many planets that are in your solar system, that um, have been inhabited, and that many of you have lived in different planets. As you have wanted to experience and learn from those vibrations, from those situations, from having those bodies, having that culture, having just the difference. Every planet is incredibly different. It has um, so much so much unique signatures to that energy, to the way of life, and this is exciting for you when you're wanting to explore all. And so this is just so shall we say, a big tree that has many branches, and on those branches has many leaves. And if you look at every leaf as a new planet, they all look similar, but they all sort of have different qualities. The veins in them, where they collect their water, and the way that they process the sunlight is quite looks significantly different. But when you look at the whole, you can see the whole. But when you look at each individual piece, they are quite unique in different ways. So there are many planets where you have inhabited and have flourished and have overcome and explored, and some of those are such favorites that you feel like those are your home, because those are the soul essences, match you that lifetime and those planets. And so you have your favorites, you have your favorite signature energy that you just really resonate with the most. So it's not like you were born in a certain soul planet, and that's who you are. You were born from being a spark of source, and so you have chosen to have different lifetimes on different planets, to be able to have all those experiences. And so where your true home is back with source, but where you physically feel like there is a home, that will be a planet in a specific lifetime that has resonated with you the most, that feels the most comfortable with you. So we're trying to explain it all in general, even though we're wanting to really talk to each individual about your homes in Pacific and your lives, because we know this is very curious for many people. But what we want to keep reminding you is that this lifetime now on this planet right now is the most important planet and lifetime that you need to focus on. And so while all of those other ones are interesting, the bigger purpose here is for you to experience this lifetime. So while we know that is fun and it can be distracting, but it also can actually fill in some gaps of information that you have been trying to seek to understand why and how you tick. Because really you are the same, sort of, you have the same personality as such, the same core base. While you have while you have been nurtured and you have what could be seen as consistent characteristics from your families, you also travel and do new experiences on different planets with your families. So you are always nurtured around the same people, the same beings. You may have some new players for each individual new lifetime, as you're expanding, but you do keep it amongst your soul family groups. So. And this is a very fascinating topic. We understand that you really enjoy exploring, and there is nothing wrong with it. But do not get distracted with what is outside of this lifetime right now as such, because it is distracting you, and it kind of, you really need to right now to focus right now on your lives that you have to keep balanced emotionally and physically, and really be attuned with what's happening now, because this is really more important than anything else that has happened in the past or in your future. So we really want to confirm to you, yes, you've been living on many different lifetimes. So you've had many different lifetimes living on many different planets and have seen many different things. But this lifetime right now is the most important, as we keep saying, because it truly, truly, truly is. And so we want you all to focus on moving forward. We want you to focus on raising your vibrations the most you can. Understanding that if you do get triggered, you haven't destroyed the higher vibrations within you, you're merely just pausing them. So you don't allow yourself to buy into any guilt or feel like you're failing in any such way. You're not. When you're triggered, this is a fantastic opportunity for growth. So remember that when you're feeling frustrated and irked, there is growth here. We love growth, we celebrate growth, we support growth. And we have seen so many amazing beings be stuck and limited and stagnant with their own growth because it looks too painful. As you know, growth is painful. Growing pains is a perfect word that we would like to say to you now, a perfect saying. So growth is fantastic, and see how far you can come. You already know how far you've been and how far you've got to get to this point right now. So expand it. Nothing will break you. Think of yourself as just a sponge, and you're just testing the limits, testing your boundaries, and knowing that your growth into who you truly want to be, who you truly can be with such ease and grace, when you release all judgment, when you release all beliefs of yourself being not worthy, when you fully love yourself and can love others, then truly your lives will shine. And being that fifth dimensional mindset the best you can while being here is always your better approach, because it will help you learn so much and grow so much quicker without so much pain. So do not marinate yourself too much in those lower vibrations, because you truly do not deserve to be stuck in those. So see what's coming up for you and address it, and applying this information to your lives is really important for you to help you. We want you to take this time easily, and while growing, we just want to help you so much, because we just love you so much, and we just want to support you always. So we're trying new ways to be able to help you move forward in the best, easiest possible way while still growing. So please do not marinate yourselves in fear. Understand that everything is to help awaken humanity. Trust yourself with your intuition that you know right from wrong. And when you're feeling into that fear, it is going to cloud your judgment. So please just keep doing your great inner work, because if you've been listening to our sessions and you're still listening to us now, you are truly empowering yourself. And this is a beautiful thing for us to see and feel, that you are honoring yourself and worshiping yourself as much as you should be, because we just see you as fantastic beings. So we say this with so much love.